Hello, my name is Patrick Simpson. I'm the race director for the Lost Lake Run. I'm going to present to you today a short description of how the registration process works for the Lost Lake Run. It can be a confusing process, and I thought by putting it into a video that hopefully that would make things a little simpler. So I'm going to right now attempt to share my screen. And waiting for it to go to full screen. Here we go. The Lost Lake Run is a 16-mile course, one way. It starts on the southern edge of the Kenai Lake at what's known as the Primrose Campground. And you go up, approximately 7 miles to a lake called Lost Lake, and then come back down on the other side of the trail, down to the Lost Lake Trailhead, and then through the parking lot and down the road to the Bear Creek Fire Station. This 16-mile course is a fundraiser that's held each year in August, the fourth Saturday of August. And it's covered by a U.S. Forest Service permit that is renewed every 5 years, and it limits the number of participants to 777 on the trail. The race has 3 types of registrations. Approximately half of the registrations are for individual participants. Approximately 10% are fundraisers, and the remaining 40% belong to teams. I'll describe each of these in turn. So first, our individual participants. There's what we call legendary Lost Lakers. These are folks that have finished 12 races, had official finishes for 12 races or more. We have a list of those on our website. If you finished in the top 3 in your age group in the prior year, you also get an early invitation. And those folks that volunteer a day of their time in early August to clear the trail are also offered early invitation. Those early invitations go out by email in March. And then in April, early April, we have a lottery for the remaining number of participants. Each lottery, each person that wants to participate in a lottery can buy a ticket. You can buy more than one ticket if you like. And of course, the more tickets you buy, the better your chances. The lottery opens on April 1st and closes 3 or 4 days later. And that usually depends on whether the lottery falls on a weekend or a weekday. Then we select at random the entrants and then email to everybody who participated in the lottery, whether you were selected or you're on the wait list. Then we give a limited amount of time for those folks to register, 3 to 4 days. And there's usually just a few folks for different reasons that don't register, that are lottery winners. And then we open that up to the wait list. So those are done in order. So when you do get your wait list notification, you're also given a number, your number 1, 2, 3 on the wait list. If you're a fundraiser in the month of March, you can in effect be a team of 1. So as a fundraiser, you're agreeing to raise $400 by June 30th. And in doing so, you then get automatic admission into the Lost Lake Run. But you have to sign up as a fundraiser before March 30th, actually March 31st, but we give 30th, 31st for a little fuzz. If you sign up as a fundraiser, I want you to know that you can't also enter the lottery. And then if you're selected in the lottery, decide not to be a fundraiser. They're mutually exclusive entries. So if you sign up as a fundraiser, you will not be allowed to enter the lottery. So then if you do enter the lottery, I will return your fees. I'll withdraw your entry and we'll give that spot to someone else in the that's on the list. So fundraisers are folks that are essentially people that have said, I will raise $400 for the Lost Lake Run by myself. Now, you're not limited to $400. You can raise more than $400. And for those that raise substantially more money, we have for the top 3 fundraisers some awards, and I'll talk about those a little bit later. There are 3 steps when you're a fundraiser. The first thing you have to do is you have to tell me, the race director, I want to be a fundraiser. So you register as a fundraiser. And in registering, I get your name and your email address. Then I will send to you a registration link that allows you to register as a participant in the race. And when I do that, I also give you a coupon, that's typically your email address, that allows you to reduce the amount of entry fee by $400. So if you just go out to the website and register for the race, the default amount is $400, which is the same amount as being a fundraiser. So if you'd like at that point, if you want to just pay the full $400, you can do it just at that time. And then you don't have to wait until June 30th. But a lot of folks put together a small fundraiser, and those funds can be raised over Facebook and with CrowdRise and other fundraising web-based activities. Then in step 3, you raise the money. So you've got ideally April, May, and June, those 3 months to raise $400. By June 30th, I need the money. So if you haven't raised the money by June 30th, the agreement that you're making with me is that you'll surrender as a donation what funds you have raised, and you'll give up your spot in the race. So if you don't raise the $400 and I don't receive it by June 30th, then that spot will be taken away. You can, as I said, raise additional funds. And what we do is we keep track of how much money each fundraiser has raised. And the top 3 are given some very nice prizes. And they're the Marcia Vincent Awards. Marcia Vincent is the lady that started the Lost Lake Run back in 1992. And if you want to see a list of those, there's on the website for prior fundraising award winners. The third category is teams. And team sizes are in increments of 4, and they range from 4 to 24. So you can have a 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, or 24-person team. And the level of funds, the amount of the team is varies with the size. So for a 4-person team, it's $1,500, 8-person, $2,500, and so on, all the way up to a $7,500 fee for a 24-person team. You register the teams at 6 a.m. on March 1st. So at March 1st at 6 a.m., I open up team registration, and you have to then at that point get on the web and register your team and tell me who the team leader will be, how big your team is. And then I will send you some additional information after that to allow you to register your team members. One thing you have to keep in mind is that these team registrations tend to fill fast. In the past now, we're down to, I should say, approximately 5 minutes to fill a race with the number of teams and spots available. So my suggestion is if you want a team that at 6 a.m. on March 1st, you will have the link. I email this to everybody. I put it on Facebook. You will click on that link and register your team. Similar to fundraisers, there's these 3 steps for team registration. The first one we just talked about, which is registering your team. And when you do that, you're just giving me the name of the team leader and the size. Now, the team leader is the person that makes the decision about the composition of the team. The team leader decides who the team members are. I give to the team leader by email a coupon, and that team leader then distributes that coupon to those people he or she wants on the team. And the team members use that coupon to register themselves. And when they do that, then I know by virtue of the coupon who's on whose team. And then the team raises the funds. So like the fundraisers, you have until June 30th to raise all the money. And also by June 30th, you have that time to register your team members. So unlike fundraisers and participants, which need to register either in March or early April, with teams, you have until June 30th to tell me who's on your team. I will allocate those spots, and you have some flexibility in terms of when you want to put people onto the team. And there's a variety of reasons why you might want to wait. Some teams fill right away, others wait. And so we could talk about that offline. If you have some questions about that, give me a call. I've got my contact information at the end of this presentation. Like fundraisers, teams can also raise additional funds. And we have a separate set of awards for the top 3 outstanding team fundraisers. And for examples of some of those from the past, you can see the website. So, outstanding team fundraiser, the Marsha Vincent Award, but also with teams, there is a time record. Team records come in open division, which we've recently renamed the Armentrout Cup, named after Jennifer Armentrout, one of our founding board members who left us in 2019. So there's an open division, there's a women's division, and there's a separate cup given out for that. With the team record, the way it's calculated is we add together the 4 fastest times among all your team members. So if you've got 4, then of course it would be just those 4. But if you have 8, we take the 4 fastest of the 8 or the 4 fastest of the 12 or so on. So it's always the 4 fastest times that are added together, and that it becomes the team's time. Now, we have some deadlines, and those deadlines we like to adhere to very seriously because we have a lot of things that we have to do after those deadlines occur. In particular, well, for example, in March, we want everybody to register that's planning to register for early registration, because then we know how many people we can put out for the lottery. So that is a hard and fast deadline, March 31st. If you don't register by that date, when offered early registration, then that opportunity is lost. Also, June 30th is a hard date for us because we need to order t-shirts. We need to make sure we get all of our supplies in order. We have parking and other things that have to follow that. And so to make sure all of those things get in place, we need to have all of our numbers and the composition of our race complete by June 30th. We also have to have all the funds in because we do have to fund some of this stuff, and we can't wait for money. So the way we communicate most often is I will send out what's called email updates. I use an application called Constant Contact. I ask you to opt in on the homepage. There's a button I'll show you here in a later slide. And I'll send out to you announcements that are things like the registration for the race is coming up. I will also use Constant Contact to contact people who've been in the lottery and whether their outcome was successful or not, and so on. Once in a while, I will also announce important news, and we have a webinar series, and I will announce webinars. So you will get a bit of email traffic, but it's an email inbox, and I'm not going to put spam in there and pollute it. I'm just giving you information about what's going on with the Lost Lake Run. Hopefully you'll find some of those interesting. Another good way for us to communicate what's going on with the race is through our website, lostlakerun.com. And also we have 2 Facebook pages. One's called Lost Lake Run and one's called Lost Lake Runners. One's a group page that's monitored and managed by the runners themselves, and the other one is a page that I manage. Here's what our website looks like. I wanted to give a quick tour so that people who were not familiar with the website could see some of the important features on this. For registration, there's this registration button here. And underneath there, you'll see that there's terms and conditions and the 3 types of registration I just mentioned: participant, team, and fundraiser. There's also a set of step-by-step instructions, and this part can be confusing. So I want to walk through this for a moment. I would say probably 2/3 of the questions that I get by email are things related to this part of the process. I agree with you, it is confusing. I wish I could make it simpler. It would take a pretty substantial rewrite of the website, and since we're a nonprofit, volunteer-based organization, this part is a little bit beyond our means right now. But if you know some crackerjack website developer that wants to donate their time to come in and help us integrate registration more cleanly with our website, that would be great. But at this point, this is what we have, and this will have to work. Anyway, there's some step-by-step registration instructions, and if you click on that registration, then you'll get this page, and then you'll see down here there's a link to step-by-step registration instructions. Those instructions I'll go through here. And when you register for the race, this is done by a link sent to you. You get an individual registration. It looks like this, and then you'll say, click here to add to cart. So I want you to click on that. When you do that, you get this green bar up here that says individual registration has been added to your cart. But you should also note that in the upper right-hand corner, there's a little cart symbol and it shows one item. So if for some reason you come back to this screen and you try to register again, your computer crashes or something happens, lose your web connection, it will not allow you to add another item to the cart. You have to click up here on this cart symbol to get to the next page. So you can either click here to view the cart if this is happening in the one session, or if you come back to this page later, you'll have to click up here to get beyond this page. When you click there, this is what your cart looks like. It'll say an individual registration is $400. But there's also down here a little area where you can enter a coupon. So the coupon that I send to you by email, or that your team leader sends to you by email, should be entered here. Use all lowercase. I don't think it likes upper and lowercase. And then click on the apply coupon button. And you should get the screen refreshed and you'll come back with a revised cart total. So here you can see your subtotal is $400. My coupon was my email address. It removed $400, making my total $0. So for the majority of people registering for the race, the coupon is absolutely essential so you don't get charged, because if you don't do that and you move beyond this page, it's going to ask you for some Visa card information or an American Express card so that you can pay us. So the total should be $0. And when it does, then you click to proceed to checkout. Then you get to enter all the information that I need to record you as a participant. Your first and last name, your address, your gender, your date of birth, so I can get you in the right age group, your t-shirt size, and so on. So that's finished on this page. If for some reason you are going to pay $400 to register, say you're a fundraiser and you just decided I'm not going to do a fundraising activity, I'm just going to pay the $400. At the bottom of this screen, there is a Visa checkout. So that's the end of this. I'm hoping this helps. I'll be posting this on YouTube with a link off our website so that folks can hopefully get a clearer idea of how the registration process works and what the difference is between a participant, a fundraiser, and a team. Thank you for your attention.